why DevOps needs Agile too, and Lisa Cooney, who is an Agile coach at Spotify, who is co-author of Agile 2, the next iteration of Agile, and editor of Evolve Agility. And DevOps ideas and practices tend to focus on the technical while they emerge from Agile, and they have moved on leaving outdated Agile beliefs behind. So learn how Agile 2 is sought to rebalance Agile philosophies in ways that support and nurture DevOps. Lisa, thank you for being here. Over to you.
Okay, well, thanks for having me. Hi, everyone. I would just like to point out something I noticed, which was an awful lot of men who were nominated for awards and who are in the training program. And this is totally unscripted, but I would like to encourage every woman who is watching this to consider participating in some of the DevOps training offered by DASA and to get your names out there, because I know we can do it. All right. The reason I'm here today is that I co-authored a book about a new set of Agile values and principles called Agile 2. Could you go ahead to the next slide, please? Oh, all right, that's okay. My intro slide was missing, but that's all right. So anyway, I helped write this book on Agile 2. And there were 7 of us who were co-authors, and there were 15 people who came up with these new values and principles. And after the book came out, I spent a while talking about it in public and spreading the word about these great ideas, including how they relate to DevOps. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. Now, this slide is here because I used to spend a lot of time decorating Pasunky eggs years ago. And this is actually an ostrich egg that I decorated myself. Pasunky is a Ukrainian word, and it means an egg that has been decorated on. And I would just like to say to anyone here who is affected by the war, my heart is with you. Next slide. So I really love that DASA includes the word Agile in its name. I really think that words matter. And DevOps and Agile are closely related. And the recent divergence, placing DevOps into the technical practices bucket and Agile into the people and process bucket, is unhelpful and confusing for newcomers to our shared space. Next slide. I got involved in the Agile 2 project because I believe the world needs philosophers, people who articulate core principles and values clearly and give us helpful ways to think about things. Of course, we also need practitioners, but they must be supported by core principles lest they lose focus and struggle to achieve their goals. Another reason I contributed to Agile 2 is that I took a DevOps for Agile coaches class, actually with a nominee who's coming up later in the program, Cliff Berg, and I developed a solid appreciation for the field. And this had a huge impact on my Agile coaching. I think DevOps and Agile 2 go super well together. Next slide. So right now we're in the exemplary leadership part of the program, and Agile 2 has a bunch of principles around leadership. Next slide. For example, good leaders are open. Innovative leaders are open to new ways of doing things and willing to go with whatever works instead of choosing their favorite familiar paradigm. Leaders who take a team approach to implementing DevOps will have much more success in getting not only their practices adopted, but also helping them to evolve in new and unique ways for their unique organization. Next. Provide leadership who can both empower individual and teams and set direction. Great leaders know how to balance support and freedom, guidance and autonomy, growth of talent with difficult management decisions. Doing this well in a DevOps environment is essential to a transformation's success because without these qualities, people will not have the space that they need to experiment and learn. Finally, the behavior of the leadership will be copied throughout the organization, so it had better be good. People are people, and they look up to and imitate their leaders. So those who own or run large organizations should model the behavior and the beliefs that they expect others to live by. Next slide. So you may be wondering, what does it mean to be a great DevOps leader? How is that different from just great leadership? I'll tell you what I think. DevOps is about fundamentally weaving together development and operations. Yes, it's a highly technical practice these days, but the core is philosophical. We learned from Nicole Forsgren and Gene Kim in their book Accelerate that DevOps is highly correlated with good leadership. But which came first? Did DevOps result in good leadership, or did good leadership enable DevOps? Personally, I think it all starts with great leadership in the general sense, combined with technical understanding. Next slide. There are several Agile principles that talk about the vital importance of business leaders knowing how their tech is built and delivered. This doesn't mean they have to be engineers, but it does mean they have to learn enough to work in a side-by-side partnership with their tech brothers and sisters. To me, this is what distinguishes an ordinary good leader from a great DevOps leader. The latter knows a thing or two about tech. Now, I'm not saying business leaders lacking tech savvy are going to fail, but I do believe that they are limiting their success without realizing it, literally leaving money on the table. Next slide. We have an Agile 2 principle that goes, change must come from the top. What this means is that the kind of dramatic change involved in a major transformation, the kind of change that needs Agile and DevOps, will only happen if the top level leaders are 100% for it. The Inspirational DevOps Leadership Team Award is about recognizing leaders brave enough and trusting enough of their people to lead their organization toward adopting DevOps. And I would add that even when top level leaders support this shift, it is still hard, and continued strong leadership is needed all along the way. Next slide. I love the award that focuses on the inspiring leader, because what could be more important? The very definition of a leader is someone who has followers. And this doesn't come automatically from positional authority within an organization. A leader needs to inspire others. And to inspire DevOps and tech people, you need to know what they're actually doing. And you need to support their efforts to grow and learn continuously. Next slide. Another Agile 2 principle goes, professional development of individuals is essential. And I've never seen an exception to this. The DASA Inspiring Leader Award recognizes those who develop talent, enable people to grow, and this in turn gives DevOps the space to breathe and to expand into the whole organization. Next slide. So what is a coach in a business setting? By definition, this is someone without positional authority who leads by influence. Coaches teach, mentor, guide, share, and support. Outstanding coaches have the ability to bring about dramatic change with their creative thinking and their constant questioning, inspiring those around them to reach higher and farther and achieve more. Getting DevOps going in an organization is really hard. Of course, the tech is very complex, but even with all the tech in place, the people can be in the way because they cling to counterproductive processes and beliefs that hold them back. A great DevOps coach doesn't just teach, they ingrain belief systems and new ways of viewing the world. As someone who tries to spread great ideas around, I know just how difficult it is and how essential it is to leverage your own knowledge and expertise to be good at that. When you succeed, executives and tech leaders hear about it. They get curious and they want to learn more. And just now I said that change comes from the top. But sometimes individuals, through their successful DevOps and coaching efforts, have success that gets the attention of the top level leaders. The leaders get curious and they want to find out more. And a good coach will find ways to educate them, which is really important because those leaders are the ones with the ability to make systemic changes. I actually think that coaching is an important leadership skill set all on its own. And great coaches are themselves leaders in many respects, even without positional authority. Those who actually change, the leaders and the members of the organization, are the ones who usually get the most attention. Great coaches often don't get enough credit. So the DASA award honoring the contributions of a DevOps coach is really important to shine a light on the excellence in this area. Next slide. It's been really exciting to hear about who has won these DASA awards, but I would like to say to each and every nominee, it's an honor that you were even in the running. Wear that badge of honor with pride, because doing well with DevOps is no small thing, and you've done a big thing just by being here.